وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله محمد السيد الأولين والآخرين. مدد يا رسول مدد يا سادة أصحابك مدد يا مشهد نفسنا ونشهد الله في صلى الله قال يا أبو ابن الأبصار رجال الله أهلا بنا. Mübarek Şaban ayının birinci günü buraya nasip oldu.
We are thankful to Allah Almighty that on this very first day of the blessed month of Shaban, we've been invited to visit the blessed site of Abu Ayyub al-Ansari.
Allah mübarek eylesin.
May this blessed month of Shaban be a blessing for all of us.
Recep ayını Allah şükür selametten.
We are thankful to Allah Almighty that we have lived through the holy month of Rajab and that it was a blessed month which we have spent in a healthy state.
Geçirdik. Allah hepimiz ibadetlerimizi makbul eylesin.
May Allah Almighty accept the worship we have performed throughout the holy month of Rajab.
Yani bu yolda sabit kadem kılsın, sabit, sebat, mühim
And may Allah Almighty
şeydir.
make us
Her
to be steadfast on this way, and may Allah Almighty make us to persevere on this way.
her şeyde sebat eden insan kazanır.
Those who persevere, those who are steadfast, will always be winning in the end.
Bunu Şeyh babamız Nazim Hazretleri bundan işte 40 sene önce 84'te filan Şam'dan o vakit Kıbrıs'ta bir tane üniversite vardı. Şam'dan bir talebe vardı orada. Talebe fazla da ihvan.
And this is something Mawlana Shaykh Nazim used to say, and back in 1984 there were not that many students around, and there was one student who followed the way of Mawlana Shaykh and who used to study at the university.
Çok az yani o zaman Kıbrıs'ta Şeyh babayla böyle konuşuyor. Şeyh babaya soruyor. Bu
And that student then asked Mawlana Shaykh,
adam şöyle zengin oldu, böyle zengin oldu, ben ne yapayım? Fazla da okumada da başarılı değildi.
and that student was not very successful during his studies, and he asked, what shall I do?
Böyle kendisine işin sırrı sebat etmektir.
And Mawlana Shaykh Nazim said, the secret of all things is to be steadfast, to persevere, and to continue with patience.
Nerede sebat edersen, ister din işlerinde, tarikatta, şeriatta,
The secret of success is to persevere, and this applies to all fields, whether it's in religious studies,
dünyavi işlerde sebat edince muhakkak şey yapar.
and even if it's worldly affairs. The secret of success is always to persevere, to be steadfast, and to continue with patience.
Başarıya ulaşır.
And it is through perseverance that one may obtain success.
Onun için sebat etmek büyük bir fazilettir.
It is a great blessing and it is a great virtue to persevere and to be steadfast with patience and to continue.
Büyük bir yapabilene faydadır.
And
En büyük fayda o.
there's great benefit for those and great blessings for those who persevere and continue on their way, and it is through this perseverance that they will obtain success.
Bu duyarız gene evliyalar imtihan olsun diye dağın başında koydu. Ben
And there is a famous story about an awliya sending one of his disciples onto a hill, and he made his disciple, he made his murid to wait on that hill.
geliyorum diye seneler geçti. Aylar, sonra sene, 7 sene sonra
The awliya said to his murid, wait here on the hill and I will come. And then the years passed by, 7 years passed by.
mürit dağın başında şeyhi bekliyor.
And the murid kept waiting. He kept waiting there at the hill, and he did as he was instructed, and he waited there at the hill as his Shaykh said to him that he will come, wait here.
Onun sebatından dolayı ona vilayet mertebesi açıldı.
And because of his perseverance, he was granted the station of sainthood.
Yani bu meseleler tabii sebat etmek kolay değil.
These matters are not easy, of course, and it is not easy to persevere regardless of the situation one may find oneself in.
Yani insanın başına her gün fikir gelir.
Because
Nasıl
there may be many situations which may make you to leave your way. You may get ideas which may persuade to go astray.
nasihat eden insanlar, akıl veren insanlar çok.
And even if it's not yourself who comes up with other ideas to make you leave the way, there are also other people who want to consult you and who want to tell you about the right way, and who actually may lead to you leaving the right way and make you go astray.
Olur. Onun yani sebat etmesi zor olur.
And in the face of these whisperings, whether it's either from oneself's ideas or whether it's through the consultation of other people's telling them what to do, it is difficult for people to stay steadfast on their way and to persevere.
Onun için sen yolu buldun mu o yolda sebat et.
Therefore, once you found the right way, be steadfast on the way and hold on to that way firmly.
Yolu bırakma,
Do not abandon that way.
sonu hayra çıkar.
And if you persevere, this way will lead you to blessing and goodness.
Bahusuz bu Allah Azze ve Celle'nin Peygamber Efendimiz yolu iyi bir mürşid, iyi bir insan bulduktan sonra
And to follow the way of Allah Almighty, as shown by our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, is by following a murshid, a true master.
onun peşini bırakma.
And once you found such a murshid, such a true master, do not leave him.
Tabii hakiki olsun.
Of course, do not just follow anyone. You need to find the true master, the true murshid.
Hakiki olmayana çok iddia edenler
Do not follow those who are not genuine. Do not follow those who only claim to be a murshid, but who are not.
çok iddia edenlerin peşinden de gitme.
There are so many people who claim so many things, and do not follow those who claim things.
İddia edenler ben şöyleyim, ben böyleyim, ben dedim mi hiç onun şeyi baştan bitmiştir.
There are many who claim so many things, and they say, I'm this, I'm that, and at the moment a person starts saying, I am, that is the sign for you to not even listen or to follow that person. Do not follow those who claim to be something and who say of themselves, I am this or I am that.
Onun için ona gitmeye gerek yok.
And there's no need to go to such a person who claims these things.
Hakikisini ara,
Find the true one.
Allah'tan hakikisini iste,
Ask Allah Almighty to show you the true one.
kalbine verilir.
And if you ask Allah Almighty and if you ask it by your heart, you will be shown the true one in your heart.
Şeyh Nazım Hazretleri derdi, kalbin kime yatıyorsa oraya git.
Mawlana Shaykh Nazim used to say, go to whom your heart feels inclined towards.
Biz kimsenin müridinde gözümüz yok.
Go to whom your heart feels at peace. We are not interested in stealing away people's murids.
Kimsenin müridini almaya da kimseyi davet etmeyiz.
And we are not interested in taking away murids, and we are not inviting other people's murids.
Ama kalbinde varsa o başka.
However, we cannot interfere with what is in people's hearts. If people feel inclined to, if people feel at peace, and if people want to come through their hearts, then there's nothing we say against that.
Şeyhler çok. İyi şeyhler de var. Hakiki şeyhler de var. Yani illa bir şeyhe kalbini yatmadıktan sonra senin
There are many shaykhs, there are many true shaykhs, so it is you need to check your heart to whom your heart feels inclined towards.
Kısmetin yazılıdır.
And your destiny has been written.
İşte kime tabi olacaksın, kime olursan o vakit
Your destiny has been written, and it has been destined whom you will adhere to, and it has been destined whom you will follow.
kalbin mutmain olur, ona tabi olursun.
And you will find to whom you adhere by looking at your heart and by understanding where your heart feels at peace.
Bu gelecek bu ayın maşallah ayın 15'inde Berat gecesi.
On the 15th of this holy month, there is the holy night of Bara.
Ki onlar o senenin her şeyi yazılır.
And it is on that holy sacred night of the 15th of the holy month of Shaban, during which everything is being written down and is being appointed that is going to happen and that is going to appear throughout the year.
Rızkı yazılır.
It will be written down what the provision will be throughout the year.
Eceli yazılır.
It will be written down when a person is going to die.
Hastalık olacaksa ne olacaksa
It's going to be written down and destined if there is a disease that is to occur.
bir senenin şeyi o gecede olur.
And the events and the occurrences for that year will be written down during that holy night of the 15th of the holy month of Shaban.
İşte bu yani kalbine hangisi kısmetse gene o yazılmış olur o gecede.
And it is during that night where it's written down to whom you belong and where your heart will find peace, and you will find, and the person, the murshid you are going to follow is written down on that night too.
Yani o gecenin fazileti büyüktür.
That holy night has many blessings,
Kısmet neyse o olur.
and what has been destined and preordained by Allah Almighty is going to happen.
Orada Allah Azzawajal ne yazdıysa o olur.
Whatever Allah Almighty makes, whatever Allah Almighty writes down on that night to occur for that year is going to happen.
Için illa bir zorla kimseyi getirmeye
There's no need to bring somebody by force.
gerek yok. Allah kısmet ettiyse gelir.
That person will come if that person is destined to come.
Hiç kimse mani olamaz.
And if that person is destined to come and it has been preordained by Allah Almighty, no one can prevent it.
Hiçbir şey mani olamaz ona.
Nothing can prevent him from coming.
Onun kısmeti ise neyse onun için
Everything that has been destined and preordained by Allah Almighty for that person is going to happen.
arasın insan.
Therefore, look out and search and be on the quest of that true murshid.
Mürşidini arasın.
Search for your murshid.
Şeyhini arasın.
Search for your Shaykh.
Bu dünya onlarla güzel olur.
It is your Shaykh, your murshid, that will transform this world into a beautiful place for you.
Ahiret daha da güzel olur.
And it is through the company with your true murshid that your hereafter will become even more beautiful.
Onlarla bütün dertler bertaraf olur Allah'ın izniyle.
It is by being with your murshid that all your troubles and sorrows will go away and will vanish.
Dünya müminin cenneti değil ama tarikata bulunan cennet gene olur ona.
This world is not the paradise of a believer. However, those who follow the way of the tariqah, who follow their Shaykh and have a true murshid, for them through the mercy of Allah Almighty, this world too will be like paradise for them.
Aslında dünya kafirin cennetidir.
This world, in fact, is the paradise of the disbeliever.
Ama Allah Azze ve Celle gene bize de lütfetmiş.
But however, it is by the grace of Allah Almighty that He will even make this world to be a paradise for us.
Onda inşallah hem dünya cennet olur hem ahiret cennet olur.
And it is by the grace of Allah Almighty who can make both worlds, this world as well as the hereafter, to be your paradise.
Bizim çok akıllıyız diye geçinen Kıbrıslılar,
there are some who claim to be very clever ones, especially the Cypriots claim to be very clever ones.
Eskiden cennet de burada, cehennem de burada derdi.
And they used to say that in Cyprus you can find paradise as well as hell at the same time.
İlk daha Kıbrıs'a seneler sonra gitmiştik. Küçükken gidiyorduk da büyüdükten sonra bir gittik.
And it was during a time when we were little ones, we went to Cyprus, and then after some time we hadn't been there, and then after some time we went to Cyprus again.
Caminin karşısında ev vardı.
And then in front of a mosque there was a house.
Bir adamcağız vardı orada.
And there used to live a man.
Temizlik yapıyor camiye.
And he would clean the mosque.
Selam nasılsın önce?
And we greeted him and we asked how he is.
İşte adam hemen orada cennet de burada, cehennem de burada dedi.
And the man quickly said, yeah, things are the way they are, and you can find here paradise as well as hell.
Orada başka bir şey yok dedi.
And there's nothing else here.
Sen bilirsin dedik, sen görürsün.
And we said, you know better, we said to him.
Cennet neresi, cehennem neresi?
And you will see where paradise is, where hell is.
Seneye kalmadı, adam gitti artık, orada gördü cenneti, cehennemi neresi.
And it did not even take an entire year, and that person passed away, and then he actually got to see where paradise, where hell is.
Onun için yani bu dünya kafirin cennetidir.
This world is the paradise of the disbeliever.
Çünkü ne kadar şey olsa bile, kötü durumda olsa bile cehennemden daha iyi.
Because no matter how bad a situation or your situation in this world may be for a disbeliever, the state of a disbeliever in the hereafter is so much worse.
Ona göre cennettir.
Therefore, for a disbeliever, his state in this world is like paradise compared to the state he will find himself in the hereafter.
Çünkü ahiret cehennemden başka şey değil kafire.
Because for the disbeliever, the hereafter is nothing but hell.
Allah Azze ve Celle'ne baş kaldıran, tanımayan,
those who oppose Allah Almighty, those who fight against Allah Almighty,
etmeyen, kabul etmeyen,
those who deny Allah Almighty,
peygamberlere buğz eden,
those who mock and who despise the prophets and the messengers of Allah Almighty,
sevmeyen insanlar
those who do not love and do not honor the prophets of Allah Almighty,
kafirim diyor.
and they say they are disbelievers,
Kafir her türlü zulmü yapıyor.
and it is those disbelievers who deny and who at the same time, moreover, to commit all kinds of oppression.
Onun da cezası ahirette cehennemdir.
And they will pay a price for their disbelief and their oppression, and the price for their tyranny in the hereafter will be hell.
Onun için dünya ona göre cennettir.
Therefore, for the disbeliever, this world, compared to hell, is of course a paradise.
Bu galiba Hazreti Abdülkadir Geylani Hazretleri galiba atla giderken
And it was during the time of Abdul Qadir Geylani, and he was riding a horse,
bir tane karşıdan gelen işte gayrimüslim birisi
and then while he was riding the horse, he came across somebody who was not a Muslim.
nasıl siz söylersiniz burası biraz cennet sizin için cennet değil. Sen ata binmişsin, ben bu fakir halimden böyle sürünüp gidiyorum. Nasıl diyorsun ben?
And the non-believer, the non-Muslim said, how can you say that this world is not a paradise for the believer while you are riding a horse and here I'm crawling on the ground?
Tabii sen ahiretin cehennemine karşı burası cennettir. Sana göre cennettir. Ahirette iman etmezsen o vakit ahiret sana cehennem olduğu için dünyayı ararsın. Dünyada olup da bu fakirin en fakir halini, en kötü halini ararsın.
Of course, this world compared to paradise is nothing, is like hell. But this world compared to hell is like paradise, and therefore for the disbeliever, no matter what state they are in, whether they are crawling on the ground, it is better and it's a paradise compared to hell.
Şimdi bu kısmet neyse onu diyorduk. Bu kısmetimiz Allah'a şükür, binlerce şükretmek lazım ki.
And it is everything happens by the will of Allah Almighty, and how things have been preordained and destined by Allah Almighty, and we are endlessly thankful to Allah Almighty to have us made, who has made us live this destiny.
Bizi insanoğlu yarattı.
Allah Almighty created us as human beings,
O şerefe nail yaptı.
and He has granted us the honor of being a human being.
Onun şerefi imanla, İslam'la.
And moreover, He has honored us with Islam, and He has honored us with being believers, mu'mins.
İmanı olmayan insanın hiçbir fazileti yok, hiçbir ona hürmet etmeye bir lüzum yok.
Those who do not have faith in Allah Almighty, they have no rank, and they have no honor and no blessing, and there is no need to show reverence to those who do not have faith in Allah Almighty.
Allah Azze ve Celle hürmet etmeyene ona hürmet etmek, ona değer vermek gereksiz bir şeydir.
It is useless to show reverence or utmost respect to those who do not show respect or who do not show reverence to Allah Almighty.
Vereceksen ver. Şey değil ama onun bir faydası yok.
You may show that person respect and reverence, but there is no use in it.
lüzumu yok.
and there's no need or requirement in it.
Sen onun yerine Allah'a tazim et, Allah'a
Instead, you should show reverence and give honor and praise to Allah Almighty.
yönel.
Instead, you should dedicate yourself to Allah Almighty.
Allah Azzawajal'ın şerefi sana verdiği şeref.
And you should dedicate yourself to the honor that Allah Almighty has granted to you.
En büyük şereftir.
And the honor that Allah Almighty gives you is the greatest honor of all.
Şimdi insanlar bir tane şu adam meşhurdur.
People now are blinded by the fame of people,
Televizyonda çıkmış film.
and they are blinded by the fame of people, and they think that those who appear on TV are important people.
Ne çıkmış, şurada çıkmış, burada çıkmış. Adamdan bir adam ona bir söz söylese uçar, bayılır.
And people are so are so fascinated by those so-called famous people who appear on TV. If they were to meet those people, and if those people were to say a word to that person would probably fly out of happiness, or would lose their consciousness.
Halbuki hiçbir şey yok.
But why? For what do they admire those people?
Sana sarf ettiği iltifattı, güzel sözdü filan, onların hiçbir sana bir faydası yok.
Those people, those so-called famous people, do not have any benefit or any use for you, and the kind words they may speak, they have no benefit or use for you.
Faydası olan Allah yolunda
What is useful for you is the way of Allah Almighty.
olmaktır.
What is useful for you is to follow the way of Allah Almighty.
Allah yolu insana lazım olan yoldur.
It is the way of Allah Almighty which human beings need.
Bu dünyada nedir lazım olan derler?
What is it that the human needs in this world?
Biz yolcuyuz. Hiçbirimiz şey yapmıyor.
We all are travelers. We all are on a journey in this world.
Kadınlar arkaya geçsin. Arkaya geçsin kadınları. Yolcuyuz. Biz
We all are travelers.
şeydeyiz. Buranın ahalisi değiliz.
We are not the people of this world.
Bugün Almanya'da namaz kılıyoruz.
And during a visit in Germany, we performed the prayer.
Seferi olarak 2 rekat kıldık.
And since it was a visit in Germany, we performed the prayer as travelers in its shortened form.
Baktık arkamızda oranın ahalisinden birisi, o da selam verdi 2 rekatta.
And then, instead of praying 4 rakah, we performed 2 rakah. And then after giving salam, we saw that one of the Germans who lived there also gave salam and finished the prayer with us.
Dedik ya, birileri de diyor, sen yolcu değilsin, sen buralısın, nasıl böyle 2 rekat? Ben de yolcuyum dedi.
And we said to him, but you live here, you are not a traveler, you live here in Germany, why did you finish your prayer with us? We prayed the prayer in a shortened form because we are travelers, we came to visit Germany. And he said, no, I'm a traveler too.
Ahiret yolcuyuz hepimiz.
And he said, I'm a traveler for traveling to the hereafter.
İşte durmadan bir gün, bir hafta, bir ay, bir sene
Yes, we are traveling day by day, week by week, year by year. We are traveling towards the hereafter.
geçiyor. Şimdi bilmişiz bir alamete gidiyoruz kıyamete. Hakikaten yani bu sözler de güzel sözlerdir. Yani
Now we are on a journey. It's a journey towards the hereafter. And on this journey we are approaching the last day.
insanoğlu zannediyor ki durduğu yerde seneler geçiyor, gene de aynı şekilde.
People think that they remain the same and it is just the year that passed by.
Bilmiyor ki her şey ahirete doğru ilerliyorsun.
But you're not remaining the same. You too are moving towards the hereafter.
Allah selamet versin.
May Allah Almighty give us peace.
İman selamet versin inşallah.
May Allah Almighty give us the inner peace of faith.
Allah. Bu mübarek aylara hürmet etmek.
May Allah Almighty bless us to show respect through these holy months we find ourselves in.
Onlardan istifade etmek.
And may Allah Almighty make us to be those who benefit from this sacred time now.
İnsanın faydasınadır.
And to benefit from this sacred time now it is for your benefit.
Allah mübarek eylesin bu nice seneler inşallah bu.
And may Allah Almighty bless this time now, and may Allah Almighty make us experience many blessed years.
Zulüm de biter yani.
And may this tyranny and oppression end.
Günler geliyor geçiyor ama
The days are passing by,
o da boşuna geçmiyor.
and they are not passing by for nothing.
Zulüm daha çok çoğalıyor.
Oppression is increasing,
Bu zulümün çoğalması zevalına delalettir, işarettir.
and oppression reaching its climax, oppression reaching its peak, is a sign that it is approaching its end.
Zulüm çoğaldıkça o muhakkak zirveye gelince muhakkak eniş bir yokuşun, her yokuşun bir enişi var.
The more oppression increases, the more it reaches its peak, the more it's reaching its end. Because after every rise, after every increase, there's a decrease.
O gidecek.
This oppression is going to go away.
Görüyoruz her tarafta. Yani dünyanın iyiye değil, kötüye gittiği.
And we now can see throughout the entire world that the state of this world everywhere is not moving to a good state, but the situation is deteriorating everywhere.
Buna karşılık insanlar bir ümitsizliktedir.
And people are now in the face of this oppression in a state of despair.
Ümitsiz olan imansız olanlar.
And those who are hopeless are the ones who do not have faith.
Abi, imanlı olanlar biliyor ki bunun sonu selamettir.
Those who have faith know that this oppression will end and it will result in peace.
Bunun sonu Allah'ın izniyle bütün dünya zulümden kurtulmaktır.
By the will of Allah Almighty, this oppression will end and peace throughout the entire world will be established.
Dünyayı kurtarmak Mehdi Aleyhisselam'la inşallah.
And Mehdi Alayhi is coming, who will be rescuing this entire world.
Hatta zamanda ona da geçeriz.
And may we reach Mehdi Alayhi.
Bu günlerimizde boşa gitmiyor.
And these days now we live through are not for nothing.
Dediğimiz gibi aylar yıllar geçiyor ama
As we said, time is flying by, months, years pass by.
şeye yaklaşıyoruz. İnşallah Mehdi Aleyhisselam'a yaklaşıyoruz.
And as time flies by, we're approaching Mehdi Alayhi more and more.
Bütün dünyanın İslam olduğu günleri görürüz inşallah.
And inshallah, by Allah Almighty's will, we will see the day when the whole world will be Muslim
Tez zamanda Allah
as soon as possible.
kavuştursun hepimiz için Mehdi Aleyhisselam'la beraber olmak.
May Allah Almighty make us reach Mehdi Alayhi, make us be with Mehdi Alayhi as quickly as possible.
Olalım inşallah. Ve minallah tevfik. El-Fatiha.